I got to visit the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. Hi everyone, how's life, and welcome to another one of my videos. So yes, yesterday on the 7th of March 2025, I got to live one of my biggest dreams that I've had for a long time and actually visit the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California and have a guided tour of it as well. And whilst I wasn't allowed to film anything, I was able to take some photos. So in this video, I thought I would share with you a little bit about my experience, and hopefully the photos can also tell the stories, but also I bought quite a lot of stuff from the studios as well. So treat this as a haul and also a little bit of a storytelling. Firstly, you might be wondering, Sam, how did you manage to go there and have a guided tour of the Walt Disney Studios? Well, there's a couple of ways you can do this as far as I know. One of them is Adventures by Disney, which I've never done. They're very expensive from what I can tell, but I believe that if you book a trip through Adventures by Disney, some of them do take you to the Walt Disney Studios as well. Or if you're a D23 member, which is how I got to go and visit the studios, then sometimes they might offer some throughout the year. And I was very lucky that back in December of 2024, I found out that there's a couple happening in March of 2025. I was already going to be in Florida. The trip with my friend in Florida, we'd booked ages and ages ago. And then once I realized that this is happening not long after that trip, I was like, I'm already in the country, I might as well fly from Orlando to California just for a couple of days to be able to experience this. And price-wise, it was just over $100, which I really don't think is bad at all considering how long the tour was, and I'm going to get into that in a bit. But yeah, they're also very strict. So to be able to actually get to the studios, you had to have an ID on you. So I took my passport, you have to show your D23 card membership, and also your ticket as well, of course, for the tour. And my tour started at 2 p.m. I arrived just about 10 minutes or so beforehand, registered, got my little ticket, which I still have now. It's going to be a keepsake forever. Like, I know it's such a simple thing, just has my name on it, but it does say the Walt Disney Company, and it's going to remind me of a very special day that I had there. And yeah, our tour for the day was Drew, and he was fantastic. I'm just going to say it right now. He was so lovely, so friendly, so knowledgeable as well, of course, of the Disney Company. He'd worked there for many years, and I really enjoyed everything that I got to learn from him throughout the tour. I'm looking at my phone so I can kind of recall exactly how it happened. So first, I just want to show you this photo of some of the bicycle ranks that they have, because they're Mickey shaped. Almost anything that can be Mickey shaped in Walt Disney Studios is Mickey shaped, which I think is very cool. One of the first things we saw at the start of the tour, based on what I'm seeing from my photos, is the Sherman Brothers stage building, which I love the Sherman Brothers. They are iconic and they're responsible for some of the best and greatest Disney songs of all time, including It's a Small World, which I absolutely love. And then we got to see the very iconic Dopey Drive sign, which I think most of you, if you're a Disney fan, have probably seen a photo of it somewhere, and we got to learn a little bit about it and why it's called Pluto's Corner as well. So hopefully you're seeing some photos right now. That was, for me, very exciting. Without even having gone into the studios yet, I was excited to see this in person. We then walked past the theater, which currently is playing Captain America Brave New World. Then we got to see the animation building, which for me, very exciting. I think animation is at the heart of Disney. Here you can see a photo of all the Disney animation features that have been released, apart from I think the last one that isn't actually there yet is Moana 2, because that was released very recently, but it goes all the way to Wish, released in 2023. And then we just went inside and got to see so many incredible artworks everywhere. Like, honestly, I could have spent 24 hours there because there was just so much to look at, so many incredible artworks, so many parts of history everywhere, sketches from very well-known Disney artists. Some of the works from Glenn Clean was there, and some of the earlier sketches of him as well, which was so cool to see. Got to walk through this iconic Steamboat Willie floor tiling thing, which our tour guide Drew actually said that a lot of people like taking photos of it, so I ended up taking one as well. You can see it here. But yeah, mainly here I was just amazed by all the incredible artworks that I was seeing here, from some of the earliest animations like Snow White, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, to some of the newest ones, just everywhere. Beautiful artworks. For me, the 90s era of Disney is some of my favorites. So to be able to see artwork from Beauty and the Beast and Pocahontas and Hunchback of Notre Dame, it was just amazing to me. Also had a section with some original posters of some of the Disney films. So Peter Pan, you can see here, there's Mary Poppins, Pinocchio, Fantasia, one of my favorite Disney films of all time. And I love these little models as well, which I thought was so cute and delicate. You can see the sound recording, you can see the animation part, and then my personal favorite, the editing. It says film editor over here. It's just so cool to see how they used to do it back in the day, and it's shown so brilliantly in this animation form. Throughout the tour, we also got to learn quite a lot about Walt and his life, of course, because it is the Walt Disney Studios after all. There were so many incredible photos of Walt everywhere as well, so many historical pieces, so many photos that I just wanted to look at, again, for ages and ages. And shout out to our tour guide. He was so good at explaining everything to us, all the important things, and really taking us into Walt's mind and why he created the studios the way he did, because every little detail in the Walt Disney Studios has a purpose. There was a reason why Walt Disney decided to build it in that particular way. He wanted to make sure that all the animators were happy with the working conditions and that it was a very collective and community-based location as well, almost like a university campus in some ways, which might sound weird, but it did feel like that. And I think it's part of the reason why teamwork at Disney is so important and at the core of it as well, because obviously Disney animation and anything that Disney does actually involves so many incredible people all coming together. So it's nice that the Walt Disney Studios represents that as well in the way it's built and how it brings everybody together, people from different departments as well, which is very cool. We then got to see Walt's office as well as some of his many Oscars and awards that he's won throughout the years. His office in particular was very interesting to see. I loved all the little figurines that he had collected at the back of his office, and then his desk with an airplane, and of course photos of his family around as well. Yeah, we spent quite a lot of time in there as well, and again got to learn quite a bit about his life and why the desk was like that, why his office was like that. Obviously, I'm not going to recount everything that we learned because it was a private guided tour. I'm just sharing my experience throughout the day. But one of my personal highlights actually was to see the Sherman Brothers piano. I love music and I play the piano myself, so to be able to see that in person, something that I'd seen in many videos before, was just incredible. This piano is so iconic. Obviously, it's Walt Disney's piano originally, but the Sherman Brothers have played on it. So many other people have played on it as well. But for me, when I see that piano, what comes to mind is the Sherman Brothers. And I still can't get over the fact that I got to see it in person. It was amazing. It just felt surreal, I have to say. It really felt surreal because it's a piano that I'd seen in films and videos for many years. We also have a little bookshelf here, which from what I understand, all the books on there are exactly how they used to be back when Walt Disney was in this office. So that was really interesting as well, to see all the different books that he was interested in. One thing I really like seeing in Walt Disney's office is this little gift of the Little Mermaid, which apparently was a gift from Tivoli Gardens to Walt Disney, because some of you may know, but Walt Disney was apparently inspired by one of his visits to Tivoli Gardens to build Disneyland, and so I guess that kind of shows some of the relationship that they had together, Tivoli Gardens and Disneyland. It was very cool. Here's some photos of the kitchen as well, again in Walt's office. Obviously Walt Disney loved the chili. He had a basic taste, you could say. That's how it was described to us. I mean, chili, I understand. I love the chili as well. The chili that they do in Walt's restaurant in Disneyland Paris actually obviously is reflective of Walt's taste, and it is very good. But yeah, it was really cool to see how the kitchen was laid out too. We got to see some more photos and archives, and at this point, I think we got given a couple of gifts, which was nice. So firstly, these two leaflets. One of them is Walt Disney Archives and Suite 3H, the offices of Walt Disney, so that a lot of the things that we learned on the tour we can still look back on in the leaflet, and also this Disney Legends one, which has all the names of the Disney Legends up to date until 2025. And we also got given these pins, which I think are brilliant. So it's a Duckster and a Mousker, basically a mouse Oscar and a duck Oscar, which are very iconic, and this is what the back looks like. It's a cute little gift for D23 members attending the tour. And also this pin over here as well, which I also really enjoy. And these again are pins that you can only get if you attend this tour through D23. The next part of the tour took us to the Legends Plaza, which is where you can see so many different plaques for all the different Disney legends out there. Our tour guide did say that if you can see handprints from the Disney legends, it means that when they were awarded their plaques, they were still alive. However, some of the plaques didn't have handprints, which means that unfortunately they were awarded them when they had already passed away. But either way, it was such a cool place to be. It's also where we got to see the incredible building, the iconic building of Walt Disney Studios, which has the 7 dwarfs on it, because of course Snow White and the 7 dwarfs was the very first feature-length Disney animation, and it's so cool to see all the dwarfs holding up the building and then Dopey right there at the top. To be able to see that building in person again for me was very special, and hopefully you're enjoying some photos from me in front of it. It was amazing. This area, the Legends Plaza, is also where you can see a statue of Walt and Mickey, the partner statue if you will, and it's the only partner statue out there where you can actually get up close to it. You can even stand right in the middle of it, like on the statue, which felt a little bit wrong, but also our tour guide did encourage us to do so because it's a very unique opportunity. And even though you can see the partner statue in most of the Disney parks worldwide, like I said, it's the only place where you can get so up close to it, and that felt very special for sure. You also have the statue of Roy Disney with Minnie on a bench, which is also cool, and also something that you can see in some of the Disney parks, including Tokyo Disney. They also had the Legend statue, which for me was very special because this is something that you can see in Disneyland Paris in front of Fantasia Gardens before you enter the main park. Right at the entrance of it, in front of the Disneyland Hotel, you can see this statue in Disneyland Paris. So to be able to see the real one in Walt Disney Studios was amazing as well. It was a little bit bigger than the one that we have in Disneyland Paris, but either way, I had an amazing time again looking through it, and we got some great information about it by our lovely tour guide Drew as well, which was very cool. We also got to see the water tower, the famous Walt Disney Studios water tower, which hopefully you can see some photos of right now. It has 6 legs, is something that we learned. I think normally they tend to have 4 legs, so it's cool to see that this one had 6. Then we went into the Disney Animation Studios again and got to see some incredible artwork again throughout the hallways. So you'll see so many amazing art pieces from the Little Mermaid, the Cheshire Cat, some iconic early Mickey ones everywhere. It was just such a cool experience, and that's kind of all I can say about it, because that's truly how I felt throughout it. I could have just looked at them for hours and hours, and there was just so many artworks everywhere. Like, none of the hallways are boring or empty. They all have many artworks by Disney legends on them. We also got to spot a little hidden Minnie outside, which was quite cute, because generally we're more used to hidden Mickeys. We saw some benches that were apparently used in Titanic, the movie. I don't necessarily remember them. I do enjoy Titanic though, really iconic film, but it was cool to see these benches either way. Not sure what they have to do with Disney though, but they were there. Then we went to the Walt Disney Archives and got to see, again, so many incredibly cool historical things. So hopefully you're seeing some photos here. We saw things from parks and resorts, from the movies, from animation, just a lot of amazing Disney pieces from history. And for me, that was, again, one of the highlights. We also got to see some of the original cameras that they used to make Disney animation. So the multi-cane camera, of course. You can see some photos of it here. It was very cool to be so close to one. And then the original cameras that they used as well. We also got to hold one of the many Oscars that Walt Disney won throughout his time. That was amazing. I never thought in my life I would get to hold an Oscar, so you're hopefully seeing a photo here. It was a little bit heavier than I expected it to be, but very cool either way. And yeah, I think that's more or less it, if I'm not mistaken. One cool thing actually that I'm seeing right now on the floor, because everything is Disney, they had a little sign that said "No dumping, drains to ocean," and it had a photo of Flounder from The Little Mermaid. I just thought that was so adorable. Oh yeah, we also got to see the Julie Andrews Theatre, which was amazing. That's where Mary Poppins was filmed. I think that's kind of common knowledge that Mary Poppins wasn't actually filmed in the UK. Mainly it was filmed in the Walt Disney Studios back in the day, which is so cool to see. And yeah, that was more or less the tour side of things. It took about 2.5 hours, I want to say. Maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes. It was definitely longer than I expected it to be, which personally I appreciated. I mean, for $100, I feel like I really got my money's worth and got to learn so much and see so much of the Walt Disney Studios. And then the last half an hour or so, we had time to spend in the shops, because they have a couple of exclusive shops at the Walt Disney Studios, which obviously you can only access if you're there, either working there, if you're an employee, or if you're lucky like me and get to go on a tour of the place. And in those 30 minutes that I had, I bought a lot of things. I mean, who knows if I'll ever get a chance to visit the studios again, so I wanted to make the most of it, and they had some really cool things. So this part of the video is now going to be a haul. So let me quickly show you everything that I bought, because fun fact for you, this is actually my last day in California. My flight leaves in about 5 hours, so I need to go to the airport within the next hour or so I'm gonna have to be quick. But firstly, this cap that I'm already wearing, you can see it, 1923, D23, Walt Disney Studios Company. I also bought 2 other hats, which again, very nice. This one says Steamboat Willie on it. This one has the logo of the studios on it with the water tower, Burbank, California. I got this, which I'm not going to open because it's nicely wrapped here, but it's basically the sign, the Pluto's Corner sign, you know, with the dopey drive. It's a replica of that. This was about $100, but I feel like it's very iconic, and I'm excited to put this on my desk. Got a couple of little bits and bobs. So we've got this pin set. Well, a couple of them are pins. There's also a little keychain here of the Walt Disney Studios. Also got this limited edition Goofy pin, which, I don't know, I just spotted it. The cast member said you can only buy this from that shop, and I love Goofy. I thought it was a cute pin. This was $20 for a set of 3 pins, and I really enjoy all 3 of them. Got this beautiful magnet with the Walt Disney Studios backdrop, and you can see the water tower there. This keychain as well of the water tower, very cool. One of my favorite things that I got, and this was also probably one of the most expensive things really, apart from the dopey drive ornament that I got. This is this beautiful notebook. This was priced at $29.95, but look at this. I think it's so beautiful. It's a really nice size. It feels very nice. On the back, you can see the iconic building with the 7 dwarfs. It's nicely embossed, comes with a nice pen, and I like the color as well. They had a couple of different colors. I obviously went for the shade of blue. The paper inside is lined paper, nothing special, but I just love this notebook. So beautiful. And it does say here the Walt Disney Studios, Burbank, California. Oh yeah, in it, I forgot, I also bought a couple of these stickers with the same logo. A couple of more things. I got this beautiful pin, which again says Walt Disney Studios on it. It's Mickey, he's looking very happy. And then these pair of ears I thought looked quite cool and unique, and these were actually quite cheap. They've been reduced, as you can see, to about $12.95. I'm not sure exactly how much they were originally, but these days you can barely find ears that are cheaper than $30, especially in the US, so $12.95 I thought was amazing. And I love how it says the Walt Disney Studios in the middle. The rest of the stuff I have are mainly outfits, so let me quickly show you this hat that I got. This isn't from the Walt Disney Studios. I mean, I got it from there, but it's not exclusive to there, I don't think. It's a Disneyland one, which I thought was very nice, and I love hats and I wear them quite often, especially when I'm visiting Disneyland Paris. This, as you can see, was also reduced to $9.95, which really isn't bad. And then last but not least, let me show you some of the outfits that I got. So I did get a Spirit jersey, which I really like. Look at the logo here at the front. It says Walt Disney Studios. It's got the Fantasia Mickey hat on it. And then on the back, Walt Disney Studios with this really cool design of Mickey and the studios. This was $79.99. Similar to that, I also got this jumper. And this one, instead of Mickey, has Donald on it. Feels very nice and soft. And again, this is something that I know I'll be using and wearing quite a lot, hopefully, in Disneyland Paris. This was $54.99. And then last but not least, I've got this beautiful jumper. So another jumper, also $54.95. Feels very nice and soft, and I just love the design in the middle. Look at that. Mickey, the Walt Disney Company, and it feels nice as well. Like, can you see the texture on Mickey's face? Absolutely love it. Oh yeah, there is one last thing I forgot to show you. I'm not going to get it out of the wrapping because I need to pack it, but it's a mug with a similar design to the pins that I showed you, Walt Disney Studios, and it has Mickey on it. But yeah, that is it for the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing some photos from the tour, and if you want to see some more, then make sure you follow me on Instagram because I have already posted some stories, and I'll be posting some more as well, hopefully the next coming days. And I would highly recommend to do this tour. I had an amazing time, and again, a huge shout out to our lovely tour guide, Drew. He was amazing. If you're a D23 member, they do tend to do tours like this from time to time, so it's best to just check out on their website, the official D23 website, to see when they're happening. I think the ones for March are all now done. Who knows when they'll bring some back, but they tend to do some every once in a while. For me, like I said, it was absolutely worth it. But I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Huge shout out to my lovely Patreon members and my YouTube members. You guys are amazing. But yeah, without further ado, I need to pack now. Everything that I showed you, I need to put in my suitcase and head to the airport. And yeah, this has been a very short but sweet trip to California. I hope you've enjoyed the vlogs. Obviously, not just from California, but from the Disney cruise that I went on with my friend Amanda, and then a couple of days that I had in Florida. And I will be back to Disneyland California very soon, because obviously on this trip, I didn't really get to go into the parks at all, really, apart from the 90s night event. But fear not, I will be back to celebrate the 70th anniversary. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.